What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Today we are going to be talking about Archangel and Nemesis, their kits. They're out, and boy, are they ridiculous. We're going to break down these two kits, what they're bringing to the Death Seed team, kind of talk about testing so far with Death Seed. One of my Alliance members has been doing testing with it and has been sending me a bunch of videos. We'll do a breakdown of that later, but just kind of talk about what Archangel and Nemesis are going to be bringing to the team that it's really lacking right now. Kind of break that all down in today's video. So if you guys do enjoy this video, you find it helpful or informative, make sure to hit that like button, share, and subscribe to the channel. And yeah, let's just dive right into it. First, I'll start by talking about this costume for Nemesis. Looks fantastic. I love it. I really do love it. It's like Ghost Riders in like in a suit. It's fantastic. I love it. Also, I'm very happy they're using this name for Nemesis and not his original name. If you go and look at the original name for Nemesis, your eyes kind of bug out. We avoided a bit of a situation there. We could have had another Silver Samurai on our hands if they'd gone with that original name, but thankfully they did not. But anyways, Archangel and Nemesis, talking about them, we're not really going to dive into the story too much of either character because there's a lot to get to in their kits. And we're starting off with Archangel here. Villain, Global, Mutant, Blaster, Death Seed, Horseman, and Legendary. Now, it's interesting to note, Death Seed's 2 words here, and Death Seed in-game is 1 word. Well, I'm sure this is just a typo. His basic is Wing Wrath. Attacks the primary target and adjacent targets for 300% damage and applies 2 bleed. In raids, apply additional 2 bleed to the primary target. This attack cannot be countered. So we're starting off pretty good here. And I'm also going to bet that this ISO attack for him will apply bleed as well. It looks like we've got a pretty solid thing going on here with Striker Skirmisher with your Death Seed members because of Dark Beast, where he is going to have 25% assist chance per Death Seed ally. Now, once Morgan drops down in the boss node, he will not be assisting anymore. But outside of that, you're gonna be constantly getting that Striker Skirmisher combos here, and you know this is pretty much going to make that you're gonna have this constant triple tap with these characters whenever they move, and that's gonna be especially deadly with characters like Magneto, where if you look at him, his basic, once you put the T4 on this character has 3 or more Death Seed allies, prolong all negative effects by 1 on each target. Like, that's gonna be nasty when you get going here. There's gonna be a lot of negative effects on the enemy team, and yeah, but between Dark Beast and everything here, you're gonna get some crazy Striker stuff going on. So I'm feeling Striker is gonna have some nice bleeds here as well, but as you go down through his kit, there's some pretty good reason for Striker in all of this. His special is Shard Storm, 4/4 energy cost, clears 3 negative effects from the self and all Death Seed allies, applies offense up for 2 turns to self and all Death Seed allies, attacks the primary target and adjacent targets for 330% damage, and on any target block, fills speed bar for this character by 20%. On kill, apply offense down for 2 turns to all enemies, and this attack cannot be countered. So we're seeing a lot of this where this attack cannot be countered. Please note that pretty much all of this, except for this additional 2 bleed right here, there's nothing here that makes it raid exclusive. So I'm already seeing where, like, in Crucible and War, you're gonna get some nice uses out of this. Like, you're gonna fight a lot of boosted teams on War offense. So the target block, fill in the speed bar by 20%. We need to know the final stats of Archangel, but I'm assuming he's gonna have some stupidly high damage based off of what we're seeing here with this kit. It wouldn't make sense for him to not have high damage. His ultimate is called Angel of Death. It's a 3/3 energy cost, transfers all positive effects except for taunt and regeneration from the primary target to self, and flip 3 random positive effects to negative effects. Attacks the primary target for 700% piercing, and then in raids, on kill, prolong the duration of all positive effects on self and all Death Seed allies by 1 up to a maximum of 2. The attack cannot be countered. So this is one where, like, you're automatically getting the positive effects from the enemy character, and then if you kill, you're going to prolong all those on him. And we get into Nemesis' kit, there's also something where Nemesis copies all positive effects from Archangel and then puts it on the rest of the Death Seed team. So I am fully expecting that this is going to pretty much this be one of those things where they Archangel kills someone, steals all their positive effects, Nemesis then copies that to the rest of the team. Yeah, this is looking pretty good, and again, not a lot of raid synergy here, except for prolonging the duration. So, you know, you're still getting the 70% piercing. You're getting the transfer all positive effects. So this is looking pretty good. I'm really I'm not like bouncing off the walls, but like this kit looks really good. Plus this fact that 700% piercing. If you go and look at, let's pull up Bionic Avengers. I believe that's the same damage as Iron Man's ultimate. Let me see. I believe, yeah, 700% damage, but this is not piercing. So as much damage as Iron Man does, now consider that as piercing. We'll ignore the armor on the enemy target. So this is, I mean, and it's like half the cooldown. So, you know, this is gonna do some crazy damage. I'm expecting this. I'm very excited for the fact that the mutant nodes are gonna finally be a little more manageable. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And then his passive, Fallen Angel. On kill, it generates one ability energy for self and all Death Seed allies. Perfect. And then on enemy death, attacks the most injured enemy for 200% piercing, ignoring taunt and stealth. Reduce speed bar for all enemies by 10%, and rates reduced by 25% instead. And then in raids, bury yourself for 10% of this character's max health. On this character, or Death Seed ally crit, heals self and all Death Seed allies for 3% of this character's max health. Gain 30% armor. Death Seed allies gain 30% armor. 15% bonus crit chance for him and Death Seed allies as well. So when you see this final thing here, this crit chance and the healing on crit, when I first saw that, I was like, okay, well maybe Raider on some characters. Like you don't want to, because then so like not Striker on everybody with Skirmisher on Dark Beast. Maybe you want to put some Raider on somebody. This 50% crit chance is a nice boost here, and with Raider, you're gonna have some nice critical hits there, and of course you do have the healing here. But this is where we're gonna have to test, because when you go down to the Nemesis kit, Nemesis has a lot of health steal and redistributing to allies. So I'm curious to see how much we're gonna rely on this healing from Archangel's kit here. When I first saw it, obviously I said, okay, maybe we gotta start putting Raider on people, but I don't know, with the health steal we've got in Nemesis's kit, we'll see how that changes. But the reduced speed bar for enemies by 10% outside of raids, that looks pretty good. It's not as OP as Astonishing X-Men's ability, but you know, this is still pretty good. I mean, this is basically a 10% speed bar boost for you. And then in raids, reducing speed bar by 25%, like this is great. And maybe they're doing this because they realized just how OP Astonishing X-Men were, with the fact that they could just go endlessly. Like any minion team they came across, it was just a guaranteed win because you were just getting so much speed bar. So maybe this is why they reduced it outside of raids, but still it's 10% outside of raids. That's not bad. And then this attack the most injured enemy for 200% piercing. This is gonna, I mean, that's basically like Deathpool. You get a little bit of Deathpool here, the generate ability energy for self and all Death Seed allies. Like this is pretty much Deathpool's kit thrown into Archangel. So Deathpool leads the way for the Death Horseman. I like it. I really do like this kit. And they do say here he does have high damage and high focus. So yeah, I mean we'll see how things go, but I'm very excited for this team. Moving on to Nemesis. Nemesis is the support for the Death Seed team, but he's not your typical support. Villain Global Mutant support Death Seed. His basic is Exo Punch, attacks the primary target and adjacent targets with 240% damage, steals 5% health from each target, and redistributes to self and all Death Seed allies. This bypasses heal blocks. We're going to see a lot of this stealing and redistributing. This is pretty much his entire kit. So yeah, this is where we need to test and see how things pan out with just a healing from Nemesis and see if that's going to be enough if you need to start putting Raider on characters. Special is going to be Bioenergy Eruption, 3/3 energy cost, attacks a primary target and adjacent targets with 250% damage. It steals 10% health from each target and redistributes to self and all allies. This bypasses heal block. Transfer all positive effects from a random non-summoned Archangel ally to self. Spread all positive effects on self to all non-summoned Death Seed allies. These actions will not spread taunt, stealth, regeneration, or safeguard. Apply speed up for 2 turns to self and all Death Seed allies. So this is where we were talking about with Archangel's kit, where his, or is it, Angel of Death, transfers all positive effects from a primary target to self. And then you have the special here with Bioenergy Eruption, where they're both also, I should note, they're both also 3/3 turns. So if Archangel kills someone, that's not basically going to become a 2-turn ability because of the ability energy. but then you're also extending the effects, and then you're transferring those positive effects from Archangel to the rest of your Death Seed characters, and they're also getting speed up for 2 turns. So then if you also get a kill with that, you've also reduced the speed bar in the enemy team by 25%. Yeah, I mean, this... what we've found so far with our Death Seed testing is that this team has a lot of control, but no damage. And I think Archangel is going to pretty much change that. They also have a huge sustain issue, and I think between Archangel and Nemesis, that won't be an issue either. His ultimate is Plasma Meltdown, 5/5 energy. Attacks all enemies for 300% damage and steals 10% health from each target and redistributes to self and all allies. This bypasses heal block once again. Apply slow for 2 turns and 2 bleed to all enemies. And raid, apply trauma for 2 turns to all enemies. This is huge. In the boss node specifically with Cersei, we can get blind on her from Magneto, but then she just cleanses the blind. So the fact that we can now get trauma on her, we can also get blind on Morgan. So it may be best to wait for Morgan to drop on the field and then get blind on her, then get trauma with Plasma Meltdown, and then Morgan's effectively shut down at that point. Now, you could also put ability block on her, but yeah, Cersei is constantly cleansing things. I believe there's an Emma in that node as well. In fact, you know what? I can just pull it up right now because I'm on the left side of Doom, so we can't see what's... we won't be able to see what is in... I gotta go hit my Doom raid here soon. Yeah, let's see. So, if we look at the Doom nodes. So, there was a stuff with block, which we're going to have deflex here with Strife and Red Guardian. So, that's automatically something there with Archangel when he's fighting enemies with block on them. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple characters here. Like, obviously, you want blind on Cloak and Dagger, because that's not good. And if we get blind on Kestrel as well, we get trauma on her. You want to put ability block on Wong so that he's not retaliating. But... yeah, this node here, the Madeline, Cersei, Silver Surfer, Negasonic. Yeah, the Emma right here, specifically this Emma, where that's where the trauma is going to come into play because Emma's just going to cleanse everything off. So that's where you want to get the trauma on the team because Emma's going to cleanse things. You will have a Cersei Icarus combo, but I'm sure you'll also probably clear things off. You'll probably kill Cersei before Icarus shows up. And then you have Morgan Le Fay here down at the very end. So, yeah, like I can see some of the stuff already where this is this could be an issue. But yeah, I mean the apply and trauma for 2 turns, that's gonna be big. And then finally his passive Armor Breach, 30% damage for him and Death Seed allies, which is very nice. Again, one of the issues right now with the 3 Death Seed members we have is there's just not a lot of damage. Lowers armor by 30% for all enemies with bleed, which I do want to do some testing with Undying to see if we can get some synergy with Nemesis and Undying in war. Maybe make things even better. In raids, on spawn, apply defense up for 2 turns to self and all Death Seed allies. When this character or Death Seed ally drops below 50% max health, fill the speed bar for this character by 30% and gain speed up. So, you know, this is something we're gonna have to test. There's a lot of health steal here. It's not a lot, but maybe it's enough for Nemesis to be healing enough on his own. And we don't need to worry about crits with the enemy team. Now, I would probably put crits. I'd probably put Raider on Nemesis. And I do also have a question about if we land multiple critical hits in 1 turn, what does that mean for this? Like, is it just a flat 3% no matter how many crits we get? Or is it 3% per crit? And this is also something we see with Viv's kit. If we go back to Viv Vision, her kit with Bionic Avengers is that every time someone on the team gains ability energy, she heals with 3% of her max health. And that's why I'm running healer on her. Yeah. When this character or Bionic Avenger ally gains ability energy, heal self and all Bio Avenger allies for 3% of this character's max health. So this is where like you get 3 ability energy in 1 turn from, say, any ability, and it heals for 9%. So that's where I'm curious. Is it going to stack? Are the heals going to stack in the same way with this, where if Nemesis attacks the entire enemy team and he gains like 5 crits with that ability on his ultimate, is that 15% healing for the whole team? Or is it just 3%? So that's something we're going to ask the developers. We have a meeting coming up with them here at some point when the next patch drops. We always do that when they get us the new embargo footage. We'll see whatever that's going to be. But I am curious to see if this is going to stack per character. But yeah, these kits, look fantastic. A lot of bonus damage, lowering armor for enemies with bleed. Again, I do want to see if there's some kind of undying synergy with that. And yeah, this is gonna be fun. Now, real quick, do have to mention we have gotten the awakened abilities for Red Hulk. His special Pavement Pummel will now, if Apocalypse is an ally or 3 or more Horseman allies, his pummel will clear revive once on adjacent targets as well as the primary target, and fills the speed bar for 1 random adjacent Horseman ally by 10% and 1 random Apocalypse ally by 15%. Nice little awakened ability. And then here in his passive, which, man, you forget how long these abilities are for these Horsemen. And geez, it's like a freaking novel. Here it is. At the end of this character's turn, if Apocalypse is an ally, gain +1 charge up to maximum of 5, let him get it to his ultimate a little bit quicker. And then Apocalypse and all Horseman allies gain 60% bonus focus. So, a couple nice additions there. That Pavement Pummel is especially really good with clearing a revive once off adjacent allies as well, and filling speed bar. Like, that's pretty good. I like that. But, man, these kits, I want to know from you guys, what do you guys think of these kits? Are you guys excited for these kits? Yeah, let me know what you guys think down below. As always, if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure that like button, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys next time.